Today I want to talk about how to practice walking. Actually, we have received some questions about that, so why don't we start with an easy one. The first question is, should I practice walking by myself or should I practice walking with somebody else? The answer is very simple. Do both, because the goals are different. We need to practice by ourselves so we understand our body mechanics, we understand the motion of walking, we understand what it feels like to change weight clearly. So when we dance with somebody else, it has already become a habit and we don't have to think about it anymore. On the other hand, the goal of practicing with other people is how you can work in harmony with them. I'll give you an example. Imagine you're a jazz musician. You need to practice on your own so you have good skill and you know what your music is about. But you also need to go practice with the group that you're playing with. Then you understand, this is how I can match other people and improvise with them. Walking is the same. Practice on your own so your skill improve. Practice with other people so you understand what you can change and what you cannot change when you dance with other people. Another question is, what is the step size? When we practice walking, should the step be big or should the step be small? The answer is, first, you need to find your natural step size. Take a step so that your transfer of weight is very comfortable and complete. You can do it with confidence. That will be your natural step size. After you have found your natural step size, then try to practice bigger steps and smaller steps than that. When you make the step bigger and bigger, you would feel, it is harder for me to change weight completely because the step is bigger. When you try to make a small step, what you will find is it's difficult to make it precise because as the step size becomes smaller, the difference between the step size is also smaller. When you dance, if all your steps are of the same size, the dance is very boring. You need to take bigger steps and smaller steps in order to have variation in your dance to make contrast and dynamics. That's why practicing big steps and small steps are both very important. But make sure you find your natural step size first and start from there. The next two questions are really important but can also be really confusing. Should we land with a straight knee or a bent knee? Should we land with our toe first or with our heel first? To answer them, let's first look at how we walk naturally. If you go to the street and see how people walk around you, you'll notice people land their step with a straight knee and heel first. If you go to the milonga and look at how people dance, you'll find out that most people also land with a straight knee and heel first. So, if your goal is to learn how to dance in the milonga as quickly as possible, you should learn how to land with a straight knee and with the heel first. After all, that's how we do it naturally, and that's how our body is designed to work. Now, why do people use a bent knee to walk and land on their toe? This mostly has to do with performance and aesthetics. If you use a bent knee, your step can be bigger. If you land with your toe, it looks more elegant. That's why people incorporate these techniques into tango so the walking can look more nicer. I have a few more tips about walking that I want to tell you. The first one is, do not just practice your leg motion. Try to involve your upper body as well. When we watch somebody dance, naturally our eyes are attracted to their legs because the legs move the most. So when we practice walking, naturally, we also just focus on our leg motion and we forget to involve our upper body. But you have to understand, if you want to walk well, you have to involve your entire body in the motion, then it will be balanced, comfortable, and elegant. So do not just practice your leg motion. Try to understand what your upper body should do when you walk and practice that. Then it will become easier and easier for you. Another common mistake is focus too much on stability. Imagine you're riding a bike. If your bike is not moving forward so much, you fall over. The point there is momentum actually helps your stability. Walking is the same. When you practice walking, try not to overly focus on being stable. Try not to confirm your axis is good after each step. Instead, try to focus more on going. Try to focus more on movement. If your intention to go forward is strong, then naturally you become more stable. It is also very important to be aware of the relationship between your walking motion and the music when you practice. Imagine the music is a wave. The valley is the downbeat that you're walking to. When you practice walking, listen to the music and try to understand how can I use my walking to match the music the best. If you do that, it will become a habit. So when you go dance, you don't have to think about it anymore. When you practice walking, if you only focus on your technique, if you only focus on how to move your body, and then when you go dance, it's very hard to suddenly try to incorporate the music in your walking. That's why always listen to the music, understand how that relates to your walking when you practice. Walking is simple, but it's also the most beautiful movement in tango. When you walk with somebody in harmony, it gives you the greatest feeling. I hope walking practice gives you a lot of joy. 欢迎